Yeah, what's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Prison Break Raw. I'm your host, the one and only Big JD. You know, I really hope you can tune out for just a second from the typical prison YouTube genre of 10,000 ways to make a top ramen, how to hoop your paperwork, what the Booty Bandit is doing over there in Mule Creek, and all these other tall tales of gladiator stories and badass beatings, to listen to this one right here. Because it's something that's dear to my heart. It's something that I had experienced, not exactly in the same way, but pretty damn close. I got away as well. In Miami-Dade on Saturday, down there in Florida, 12-year-old boy walking down the street, scooped up into a car, or an Escalade, I believe it was, SUV of some kind, by a man who took him somewhere and sexually abused him, raped him basically, and then shot him and left him for dead. Some man found him and took him to the corner market where the kid was telling him what happened to him, and then he just collapses. He's in critical condition right now as we speak. So why am I bringing you this story, and why am I telling you to tune out from all the typical prison YouTube genre to hear this? Well, because I told you so. This shit happens more often than you think. And then all the ridicule that I got when I dropped my war story. Similar tale of abuse. Mine lasted for a couple of weeks. But this is who we have to deal with. This is the kind of people that are out there in the world right now preying on your children, and people think this shit's a joke. They think this shit's funny. They think they could just pick holes in people's stories and talk all kinds of shit on here. Meanwhile, another 12-year-old child, a boy, falls victim to this shit. Now, we can all talk about what we would do to this person if we found him. My grandfather and father did just that. Because back then in them days, 30 some odd years ago, it was much different. The one thing that I could say about the progress and the mindset of today, the openness of a lot of different lifestyles and different sexual practices and beliefs, is that people are more willing to talk about this kind of thing when it happens to them. So this boy's probably, been educated on a lot of different things of this nature. But back in those days, if you were a boy and you were sexually abused, you didn't talk about it. You didn't want to talk about it. It was embarrassing. I mean, think of the ridicule that I go through. Imagine putting that same shit through a 14, 12, 13, 14-year-old child. It happens. There was actually a kid who got sexually abused that was at my school in junior high. I remember everybody used to make fun of him and laugh at him and giggle behind his back and all that stuff like that. Kid ended up killing himself, finally. And that's usually the end result for a lot of this back then. People either turn to crime, drugs, whatever the case may be. And don't give me that bullshit that they turn into sexual abuser themselves. That has been proven to be bullshit if you really read the true statistics. Most of these people that sexually abuse people have never had any kind of sexual abuse in their history or when they were growing up. Ted Bundy, that Alejandro Avila that picked up that girl Samantha Runyon, that other weirdo in Ohio, that Acosta guy, whatever his name is, the guy that hung himself, many, many, many others. Jeffrey Dahmer. Never had a history of sexual abuse as a child. Charles Manson. None of them. Ted Bundy. I already said Ted Bundy, but Ed Kemper. Another one. No history of sexual abuse. So that's where I break ranks on all this stuff that people think that we need to treat this as if it's an illness. You can't cure this. It's insanity. Somebody is mentally insane. They're wired that way to want to prey on children. You can't fix that through therapy and medication. There's only two things that you could fix that with. Take them out back and put a bullet in their head, or give them a lobotomy. Medical castration don't even work. That's been proven to be bullshit too. People that have been medically castrated in situations of being sexual predators have actually gone out there and preyed on more people, or killed people actually, because they're so frustrated that they can't actually reach the gratification, reach the climax. So they'll kill their prey. So there's two solutions. I'll pay for the bullet, would you? Or give him a fucking lobotomy. If you already know this person is the person, you caught him dead to rights, red-handed, that person just needs to be taken out back, a bullet put in its head, and that's it. And I say it's, because it's not a human being. Somebody that does this kind of thing. You know, in the beginning, when I shared my story, way back when, my goal was to start bringing more awareness to this kind of thing that happens to boys. Because all the focus is on pedophiles, okay? Now, when you think of a pedophile, the first image that comes into your head is somebody that sexually abuses children, boys and girls, but that's not true. A pederast is actually the one that abuses boys. You notice how you never hear that? You never hear that. You never hear that at all. We don't talk about pederasts. Our masculinity and our pride and our male role belief system that we have teaches us to pretend like these things don't happen and they can never happen to us. I'm too big and I'm too bad and I'm too tough. I knocked out my basketball coach when I was in second grade, or blah, blah, blah. All this shit that I've heard. You're a child. You don't have the strength as a grown man. You have one or two grown men that are much stronger than you, that are bigger than you. They will overpower you. They will take you into that car and they will do whatever they want to you, and you ain't going to do a goddamn thing about it. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. So the goal was to, bring awareness, to start bringing this out. Hopefully maybe set up a nonprofit. Go out there and start talking to some more people. Get some more people to step out of the shadows before they put a bullet in their own head or they stick one last needle in their arm that kills them. But no, all that came to a wrap with all this bullshit, right? People that got no soul. This shit happens all the time, people. This kid probably, when it was done and over with, probably said, I'm going to tell on you. And that's what probably made this dude shoot him. How many kids are out there that this happened to that probably just walk away with their head down? They bottle it up inside. They're grief-stricken and struck in horror and awe and shock. That they black out. That they forget things. They might have even forgot that it even happened. You don't know. It's so traumatic that you can't even really describe it unless you've lived through it. But this story came to me today. And it blew my fucking mind. I'm just like, wow. That bad, to the point to where he shot this kid, and this kid may not live. But when they finally catch this guy, do you think he's going to pay for his crimes? No, you're going to pay for his crimes. You're going to pay his housing, his bedding, his free cable TV, his food, his clothes, all that stuff. His water, his electricity, you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for his therapy. You're going to pay for his medication. That's why I said, you want to know what I want to pay for in a situation like that? Let me pay for the bullet to put in his fucking head, because that's what he deserves. He doesn't deserve any therapy. He doesn't deserve any medication. Quick and easy, put him to sleep. That's what needs to be done with these people. Our society needs to stop coddling these sexual deviants that prey on our children. There's nothing to understand about this. A simple bullet to the head is all it is. And it's over. One less we got to worry about that may make a victim out of our children. And yeah, they're like cockroaches. They're everywhere, and you kill one, 10 more pop up. But that's why we keep making bullets. And then you put it out there, this is what's going to happen to you. You ain't going to get no little cush comfort zone somewhere in some PC prison with a bunch of S&Y gang members. No. You harm our children, you're dead. That's it. That's all. You already know what it is. And you heard it right here. Prison Break Raw, uncut, uncensored, no holds barred, non-sugarcoat, not politically correct, all up in your face, slapping you with that dick of reality. And I'm out.